Hello everyone, I'm Dead Knight and this is In It to Win It. Today we're going to be talking about the Warrior cards in Core Set 2021. And before we begin, I just want to remind everyone to click the subscribe button below and subscribe to the channel to get all the latest updates on whenever we come out with a new video or a new series like this. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get right to what I think is the best card in the Warrior Core Set 2021, which is Bloodsail Deckhand. It doesn't seem that exciting as a common. It is a 1-2, or I'm sorry, a 2-1 for 1 mana. And when you play it, it reduces the cost of the next weapon you play by 1. And this benefit extends until whenever you play that weapon, it doesn't have to be the same turn. So this is a fantastic card. It is exactly the sort of card that an aggressive warrior deck needs at the beginning to get a weapon out faster that can impact the game. And it is also a great card for a slow deck where you can get some tempo on the board, where you can maybe trade for some of your opponent's minions early in the game and then get access to an early weapon that can turn the tide of the game in your favor. So you can play Reaper's Scythe a little earlier and clear the board, or you can play an Outrider's Axe, which is the new weapon that's going to eventually draw you 3 cards from Forge and the Barrens. Get that guy out sooner and start pulling cards out of your deck. A lot of potential for this card in every kind of warrior deck. I'd expected to see tons of play. He's going with the same theme as the studies cards. So for 1 mana, you can bank a mana crystal and play a useful card later. With the studies cards, you get another copy of a good card like a dragon, a death rattle, or an outcast. In this case, you don't get another copy, but instead you get a body on a board that can deal some early damage. Great card. It's going to see a lot of action. As far as what the worst card in the Core Set 2021 is for Warrior, for me, it's going to have to be Shieldmaiden. So it pains me to say this because, like many others, I remember Shieldmaiden fondly when it came out in Goblins vs. Gnomes. It's a 5/5 for 6 that gives you 5 armor on a battle cry. So back in 2015 when this came out, when the game was a little bit slower, there wasn't a lot of rush minions, there wasn't a lot of really fast ways to fill the board with minions. This guy was pretty decent. It could put a pretty solid body on the board while giving you some armor back, and it wasn't too expensive. However, the problem is, since this guy doesn't affect the board when it plays, your opponent is then going to take whatever minions that it already had and the 6 or 7 mana crystal it has and just probably roll right over Shieldmaiden and the armor that it gave you. So the only real benefit you're getting from Shieldmaiden is the armor for any armor synergies like Shield Slam. But as far as what is this going to do for you, it's a lot like Guardian of Kings in that if you need the armor the way that you needed the health with Guardian of the Kings, your opponent's probably just going to roll right through it on their next turn. And it's just a little expensive for today's classic cards to really see play in any competitive standpoint. So I was excited to see Shieldmaiden on the list, but I don't think it's going to be in any deck lists. Now, as far as the card that's worth talking about, I think Warsong Commander is going to take the cake there for me. So Warsong Commander has been around since launch and has taken many forms. First giving all of the minions in play on your side charge, then it was giving all of the minions on your side of the board with 3 attack or less charge. That became extremely problematic when Grim Patron came out. So then they made it so that your charge minions all have 1 attack, which was totally useless because there was only 2 or 3 charge minions in the game. And now it's back to give all your minions rush, which is very useful. The only question is, will it be still useful at 3 mana? Because as a 2/3, it is very unlikely to stick to the board for very long. So you'll probably need to play this guy and then play 1 or 2 pretty strong minions to take over the board. If one of those guys has taunt, then maybe you can keep him alive and get a cascade of rush minions coming out. But otherwise, I think it's going to be maybe useful for a swing turn or 2. It may see some play in some experimental decks, but it might not really take off the way that Blizzard is hoping. I'm excited for the card though. It has a lot of potential. It can unlock some interesting combos and board states, so it's definitely worth talking about and considering. And let's see if anyone can do anything with it. What do you guys think is going to be coming out in the Warriors Core Set 2021 as the top, bottom, and talked about cards? Leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.